Journal entry, 27th of the month of December, in the year of our Lord 1127. A life for a life. Bothild, my wife and love of my life, has given hers, such that Juliana, our daughter, can live. Alas, her wounds, which, despite our healer's best efforts, never ceased since I rescued her from slavery, had been afflicting her more recently, and while she would never lose her smile, I knew of her pain. She knew she wasn't long for this world, yet she never let it destroy her spirit. I shall cherish her wish and be the man she saw in me, righteous, defying adversity for the good of my family and the people of these lands that were so foreign to her. She shall be laid to rest next to my father and mother, with the heroes of old. We are gathering forces with the funds the church provided. We are training pikemen to challenge the mighty imperial cavalry. The troops of our ally, Casa Adalbero, are yet to recover from their defeats, but they are thirsty for revenge against Francia. We must bide our time and then strike against the darkness in Languedoc. Yet who knows how far the rot goes? I fear my work may not be done. Alas, more battles may have to be fought. Aldéric has steeled his resolve to, as much as he would prefer to go back to his books, to study the art of war and to follow his late wife's wishes and liberate the people from evil. That said, one needs coin to do that, and one does not have much coin. So in the meantime, we are focusing on getting the last pikemen trained, and then once the Holy Roman Empire have recovered their strength as well, then we might be able to get an opportunity to strike against Benoit of Francia and his armies. And we don't know how far this goes, if it's just Languedoc or if evil dwells in other places in Francia as well. Meanwhile, Juliana de Villeron, my youngest daughter, needs somebody to look after her. So since I can't, I am already looking after Peronella and Guichard. So somebody else will have to do it. I think Philomena would make a great guardian for her. So I will send that proposal, and she will become the ward. Now, obviously, the spouse council position is vacated, which does have a bit of an impact on things, but it is what it is. There's not much we can do about this, and certainly Aldéric does not feel like just marrying somebody again. Meanwhile, it looks like Cécile is actually still around, despite her being afflicted by the consumption, Ebon's wife. But we are going to have to get our troops ready in time for action. Cécile, who had been suffering from the consumption, has died and has actually drunk herself to death in her sorrow. And with that, my personal physician position is vacated. But I think that's where Philomena comes in, who has been hired as a replacement for that position, and who can also take over the position of antiquarian. So we'll do that. And with that, I think we have most of the positions full. Now, there are a few things we can do when we are actually at war, and I think one of them would be the warhorse grooming, which would give us 2 advantage, but it does cost coin, and coin is in a short supply. Strange tidings have arrived in Toulouse. Messengers have noted that the King Benoit of France, had made his way towards the capital of the Holy Roman Empire in Graz. And apparently a large restructuring of the Frankian Empire has been decided upon. many unhappy subsidiaries and tributaries of the Frankian Empire have been released. The empire itself has returned to the Kingdom of France, so Benoit is now a mere king, and apparently this all has been negotiated by the Kaiser, Adalbero the Compassionate of the Holy Roman Empire. As such, Aragon is mostly free, and the King Ermenegildo has, the 4-year-old, has taken over. Gascogne is our neighboring duchy, is now under the ruling of a bandit, Duke Engelbert of Gascogne, who is a known thief and fraud. It looks like England has been broken up into the Kingdom of Navarra under House Bourgogne, and Brittany, as well as other parts in France, have actually been released into independence. So I have no idea how that Spanish-English alliance was organized, but apparently the Kaiser has run a grand gathering of nobles, and that has changed the situation significantly, because for once that means that the Duke, that the King of France now has a fair few of truces with the respective breakaway provinces. But he also has somewhat fewer men under his command, although his main army of professional soldiers still is standing. Now this does change the situation somewhat, but we are still too short on coin to run any kind of military campaign. However, with the breaking up of the empire and apparent lessening of imperial ambitions by House Bourgogne, this is a welcome change, and maybe evil really is only in Languedoc. I have decided to have a bit of a sparring match with one of my brothers. We haven't fought in a while, so Raulf, can we have a sparring match? Let's see how that goes. Shall spar with my knight, although there is a risk involved. But yeah, my brother and me, we've been sparring before, so let's go for it. For a few brief moments, he and I pace in lazy half circles. I'm obviously wielding my father's axe, while he has a mighty warhammer. So he unleashes a crushing thwack with his hammer, nearly locking my axe loose. But I have gained, okay, he's gone for handicap. So I've gained handicap -6. That means, and he's done a low medium. But I can use a legendary technique. So it's likelihood of success and risk of injury. So I can do a legendary technique because I am, after all, in possession of my father's book. So we're going to do that. That's high-low. And with that, he is famed for his abilities with a hammer, and reminds me of this with a perfect flowing chain of rapid thumps. And his stance is formidable. He's still holding off my blows, but he might be close to faltering. So let's see. He has gone high-low, okay, as well. So I do need to hold against that. I think we're going for an aggressive attack. So that has a higher risk of injury, but we'll leap into action. A flurry of slashes. Okay, he's still holding, but he may be close to faltering. So he's gone high-low again. I don't really have that option. I'm going to go. I could go defensive, but he might actually beat me in that if I do that. I could go medium-low. and hold pushback. I'll push back. Okay. It's we're evenly matched at this point, I think. So I can give him a dual handicap. He's gone high medium again. I have nothing to hold back against that. So I could mock him, but he's my brother after all. I do not wish to mock him. It's all part of battle strategy. We'll go with that. And in the end, I was able to land a single solid blow on his hammer, knock his weapon loose, whirl my axe with a flourish, preparing to cut him down, and can't resist the urge to get in one final jab. He says, "Yield, yield." He is my brother. We understand each other, and he has gained some experience of me, and I have lost a bit of durability on the axe. But other than that, we are victorious. So that should be a good practice for the upcoming troubles that we're looking into. I put my weapon down and turn to Count Raulf, giving him a customary round of applause. He does the same. "Well fought, my duke. You bested me fair and square." With that, we have gained chivalric motivation, and he has gained 50% knight effectiveness. I could have used that very much more than the other one, but well, it is what it is. It was a good bout. 50% knight effectiveness, I would have taken that any day. We are currently at 220%, which is good, but could be better. And with that, we have, we seem to be facing another challenge. At first, I thought the simple footman a fool for stepping into the training field. Count Adalbert seems to no threat at first. Adalbert de Villars, also not Count, just Adalbert seemed no threat at first. It quickly became clear that he would be unable to stop his wild and vicious strikes from hurting me. Disarming him suddenly became a matter of life and death. I tried not to show my relief when his sword finally hit the ground. So we could, he's got 18 prowess, and he is a bit irrational, but he is bold. I think 18 would fit. Let me check. Where are we? Yeah, 18 would fit in. We have a few at 17. So 18 would fit in. Or I could just strike him down. No, we'll get him to join, and he will become one of our knights. Is good news. Okay, one more martial perk available, and with that we can go for Never Back Down, which is going to give me 5 advantage, and which is going to come in really handy. And potentially the Household Guard would be good. I would like actually to have a man's home, because that would be defender advantage +5, which would fit well into the strategy. But I'm not sure we have that much time. The Holy Roman Empire is, at least when it comes to its professional military, at strength. And it looks the emperor is mostly at peace, or like the former emperor, the king, is mostly at peace. So we shall see. We shall see what goes on there next. But the target is obviously the vile Duke Dumonge, who is a Satanist, who is excommunicated, a kinslayer, and a murderer. Adalbert de Villars, who we just hired into our court, has become an aspiring blade master. That is great news, and with that, he fits in very well into our rank and file of knights. While I have come to expect mischief from my son Guichard, his creativity keeps me on my toes. When it is not a prank, it's a brawl, a disgruntled tutor, or grazed knees from an adventure gone wrong. He has gained the rowdy trait. Okay, we'll see how that turns out. I can't do anything with his personality just yet because he's too little. And but we will see. We will see how he turns out. He definitely comes after his grandparents. We have received coin from the Holy Father in order to fund our campaign against the evil in Languedoc. So it is time to prepare our armies. We'll move our rally point to Toulouse itself, and then we will see if we can stand in the field of battle against the Empire of the King of France. Hopefully, with the help of Kaiser Adalbero, if the king decides to give battle and does not back down from our demands. Now the question is, tactically, how do we defend ourselves here? There are unfortunately no rivers that we could use to defend ourselves, I believe, because they can easily come around. He's going to bring a very large amount of cavalry to bear. So obviously, in the plains would be not a good position to fight them. The best we could do, we don't have any. Do we have hills? This is all very flat territory. The best we could do would be to fight in the forest. But let's have a quick look on what the modifiers are. Nothing really for the pikemen. Our huscarls would work better in the forests. Our heavy cavalry does not really mind the forests all that much, although in the open it would be better served, but the French have more of it. And the archers would be working better in the forest as well. So ideally we would have hills or mountains, but we have no hills or mountains to fight in, unless we move to Quercy and in Figeac try to stand against there, or we go to Carcassonne. But there's a good chance that they will not try to relieve Carcassonne, but instead just try to fight us in Toulouse itself. And Toulouse itself is flat as a crepe. So unfortunately, he has all the advantage there. So we will see what happens. But it is time to declare war against the Duke of Languedoc, which of course will bring his liege, the King of France, into this. So that is the unfortunate reality of it, and we shall definitely call Kaiser Adalbero. Maybe his troops, maybe the presence of his troops can see the French have reason and prevent a bloodshed. But we'll begin in Albi. And we will see how quickly the French armies are going to muster and what countermeasures they take. I am in command of our own troops, and the Kaiser is joining. We've spent pretty much all our prestige on this operation, so I think the first army of Vivier is actually mustering in the east from here. So we might have to face them sooner rather than later, but we'll see where they are going, and if we are moving to Quercy, since the army has been sighted, we might try to move to Quercy, to Figeac in the hills, and see if we can defend there, because that would give our spearmen, our pikemen, well, it's just additional toughness. Nobody else really, and our cavalry. Yeah, the archers would be advantage as well. So maybe we will move to Figeac and see if we can get them to fight us there. It would have been ideal if we had known where they were, probably to fight in Mont-Laur, but our advantage would have been significantly reduced because that's not our home territory. So we'll try to we will move to Figeac and see if they take the bait, and if they are willing to engage us in unfavorable terrain. So, of course, if they they shouldn't besiege Gévaudan because we haven't actually my brothers are not actually involved in this war. We have a dynasty legacy to unlock. So the mythical ancestors is the next one. Grants access ancestral claim castle spell. We don't really need that, but the mythical ancestors definitely. We're all about the hero worship here. All right, let's see where they're moving into. We'll stand ground. They are besieging Gévaudan, but I am not sure if they are actually. No, they're not besieging. They're actually moving on. So we will await them in Figeac and see if they are taking the bait, coming in from the hills. They are coming in from the hills. We are okay. Volkart has told he's getting on in age as well. Volkart von Nassau, House of Nassau. His only son Takulf, the younger, unfortunately, is a bit of a dishonorable villain. So I'm not too sure what to do about him. But the battle is about to be met. We have stationed ourselves defensively in the hills in the bishopric of Figeac, and we are about to meet the enemy army. And with that, forces have been joined, and the Count Ademar of Auvergne is leading the charge. Our spearmen so far countering the enemy heavy cavalry quite well. Our own cavalry, of course, is having similar problems, but our archers and especially our our heavy infantry should be able to do more. However, the rest of the army is still going to show up. There we go. So now the full battle has been joined. Now his light cavalry and their light footmen have been suppressed. His armored horsemen, all 500 regiments of them, are still doing a decent amount of damage, but our archers are not doing an awful lot anymore because with the threat of the cavalry, we cannot openly deploy them. We can only use them for small attacks, and hopefully our knights can make a difference. Although the French knights are certainly capable. Right now we have the advantage. We're defending in the hills. I'm leading my own soldiers, and we are both equally matched in terms of chivalry. But we shall see how the battle develops. Meanwhile, my news has arrived that Captain Christine of the Metz Squires is a bandit, is behind the attempts of stealing artifacts. So that scheme has been abandoned, and with that we only have the murder scheme that's still going on. Then we can finally stop redoubling the guards. But for now we are in the midst of battle, and we do have an increasing advantage over the French. And the friendly troops coming. The French are being routed significantly. Leuthold was wounded by Count Geoffrey, and Raoulf was wounded as well by Count Gorgon. But they are retreating. We have achieved a victory, and We'll see how many are left on the field. I think a fair few. Though the Battle of Figeac has gone in our favor. 1,300 losses, not as much as I would have hoped for, but we have most of them were levies, not so much the trained soldiers, and our knights have conducted themselves well. Although Leuthold has been wounded and Raulf has been wounded, so hopefully nothing too severe. But we have defeated the larger force, and with the arrival of the army of Geneva, I think we can now begin the. We'll leave the defense to. We'll leave the battles in the north to the Holy Roman Empire, and we'll begin besieging Albi and the regions in the south. We do have to hurry because our expenses are significant, and as such are not necessarily going to be easy to sustain for a lengthy amount of time. So we'll begin besieging Albi, and I think we can station some besiegers and then move on towards Carcassonne as well, and work on. And someone else is trying to steal from me. Some people are really interested in my things. Now the French army has been beaten back for now, but they might return. So we get support from the friendly troops when it comes to the sieges, and with that we will hopefully succeed and make that a short campaign. Meanwhile, Milo, my counselor, has died of old age, which is very unfortunate. One of the last Crusaders from the original. And with that, we have lost our marshal, so we'll have to appoint somebody new. And we want probably sort by marshal skill. We could actually assign the mayor of Castle Sarrazin, because he is highly qualified. So only Thierry, my caravan master, would be better, but he is already ailing as well. So is the mayor, but alternatively we could get Omori. He's already in his 60s as well. Well, all they need to do is train people. So in that case, we get the mayor in and get him to train the commanders while we are besieging. Now the siege of Carcassonne is taking a while, simply because of the amount of troops that we're having available, and it seems that the cook of Captain Pierre Ramon is scheming against me. I can't throw him in jail, so let him know. Let it be known to the world that he is a thief and a schemer. Okay, the French are returning, so we will have to abandon the siege of Carcassonne and return north to rejoin the forces. We will finish Albi, but we will once again take on the French. So join the armies, because they have begun besieging the castle of Montauban. And with that, we are up for an open. We are up for an open battle, and it looks like the king. The king is in debt. He is, which means that he cannot maintain his forces either. But he does not have the backing of the church. So as such, we will move in and defeat the French army in detail if we can. We'll relieve the siege, and we have joined in the Battle of Montauban. However, the rest of the French troops are still arriving, as well as the company of the Falls Earl under Captain Tobe. So apparently he has hired mercenaries. But for now, they are in debt, and the commander Hadmar is by no means as qualified as our previous enemies. However, now we've got Count Ademar again, so now we are fighting in the open, which is not ideal, but their heavy cavalry is being countered by our spearmen. And again, in the open out, our archers are not quite as effective, but I think we can wear them down sufficiently before the reinforcements arrive. And we definitely have the advantage now. And with that, the battle is won, and the French are once again retreating from the fields. And we will see what comes of that. But first off, I woke up with a crushing thought. Despite years of efforts, my life's achievements still pale compared to my great father, Duke Bernard. I've pushed myself, yet I am still unable to escape the long shadow of his fame. Is this a curse that every father brings upon their children? Are we all born into a futile race against the giants of the past? So we have, I have doubts about my failures and a mental breakdown. Lately it feels like I am constantly being distracted by lascivious thoughts. With all the hardships of my everyday life, it is all too easy to lose myself in daydreams and forget about reality. These desires are clearly interfering with my life, but what should I do about them? I could become reclusive. I don't think that's where we're going. I could convert to a different faith. That's not happening. So I will bite my lip and stay focused, because we are in the middle of a military campaign. And once again, the French have been defeated. They have lost a fair amount of professional soldiers this time around. Especially their pikemen have been hit pretty hard. And it looks like Count Geoffrey of Galua has been slain by the Prince Heinrich III of the Holy Roman Empire. So it looks like the Holy Roman armies have joined the battle as well. And with that, we can once more return to the siege now that the French have been beaten back. And I think we'll remain at the siege at this point. And not be distracted by the returning French armies, because we do need to finish this before we run out of coin. Who is that now? Yeah, they're all trying to steal from me, and we shall make the traitors known. So we will remain at the siege, and we will. We still have ongoings, but we need to finish off this campaign. So we do need to begin holding the objectives. And if the French army returns once more, then we shall leave it to the armies of Geneva to take them on. Albrecht von Wassenberg has died in his sleep, and with that, I think I need a new steward. So let's sort that by stewardship. We could get Takulf von Nassau, but he is a bit of a villain, and he's also not that good. So let's see if we can find... I think, unfortunately, a steward has to be male, yes. So we don't really have an awful lot of choices here. Yeah, I may have to go with Takulf and get him... which is going to reduce the amount of taxes that we are collecting, because he's not as good, but it's not as good as Albrecht von Wassenberg. Poor Philomena is once again widowed, but it will have to make do, and there are more enemy armies gathering. It looks like they are besieging. A good thing is that they're beginning to besiege the Holy Roman Empire now after losing multiple fights in the south here. So it looks like they're no longer willing to confront us, which means that we have won the siege of Cevennes, which has repaid some of the debt. And let's see, what else is Languedoc here? We have the, where's another castle? Béziers is already taken. This leaves Carcassonne, doesn't it? I think that's pretty much. There's Foix, there's Carcassonne. Béziers. Béziers is already under our control, and they are besieging Montpellier. I think Montpellier will join the siege in Montpellier, and make sure that we finish that off quickly. We can bring our siege weapon to bear, and with that we should get some additional coin as well. There is a plague breaking out, and it is in Toulouse. It is the consumption, which is difficult because we can't get into seclusion because we are currently in the field. So the best we can do is to isolate the capital and pray that everybody shall survive. So in an outbreak inside Toulouse, popular opinion is low due to the war we are waging and the fact that we are deeply in debt. But hopefully we can have sufficient resistance to the plague that it is not going to spread too far. And hopefully my family will be safe, because that was, after all, the last wish of my late wife. Despite our efforts, the consumption that has started in Toulouse is beginning to spread, and I do have to keep an eye and see if there's anybody who is afflicted in my court. So far, it seems nobody is getting it, but we have finished the siege of Montpellier, and we're moving over towards Carcassonne now, and with the threat of the French cavalry significantly diminished, I may be able to reduce the size of my armed forces a little bit, which hopefully reduces the overall cost that we're having here. So. And the flu has spread. Yes, it is spreading across all of Toulouse. So this war, the evil that is here, is not going to be defeated easily. And unfortunately, the consumption is spreading. And I hope my brothers will be safe, but that remains to be seen. We do need to finish this war because we are holding the objectives. It is a war for the duchy, unless we. Takov's appointment was good because he has managed in this difficult situation to find an additional 90 coins. Takov von Nassau, the grandson of the original Takov who marched with my father, has been afflicted by the consumption. Despite the best efforts of Philomena to control the plague, it seems that my steward will may not be able to do his duties much longer, and he is the last in the line of the House of Nassau. So we will see if fate calls him, and the Lord calls him to his heavenly realm. But there are French armies again coming in the north. They are moving in towards Gévaudan, and that means after this siege in Carcassonne, we may have to once more accost the French in the north. We are We have nothing to gain from battles, and I think once we are once we have the rest of the duchy under our control, and I think there's not much left. There is the county of Uzès and the barony of Montalour that would need to be conquered, but I think that's about the last one. So hopefully we can bring this ruinous war to an end soon, because the king is very much out of coin as well.